For more on this, let's bring in Ulrich Brueckner, who is a professor of European Studies at Stanford University in Berlin. Thanks for joining us, Professor. Let me start by asking how significant these concerns are of stagflation across the Eurozone. Do you think they may be overblown or actually underpriced?
Well, right now, it is exactly what the numbers suggest. This is a quarter problem. Whether it continues to become something like a serious economic shock to the Eurozone and stagflation appears as a problem that is harder to tackle for the European Central Bank, this all depends on external factors, like for how long will the Strait of Hormuz be blocked and what other international turbulences add up, because right now the inflation pressure is something that comes from outside.
And if the Hormuz blockade drags on, what's the realistic downside risk for Eurozone corporate earnings in the second half of this year? And how are European industrial firms hedging their immediate energy needs?
When we look at the bigger picture, the Eurozone is facing so many problems that happen at once. They don't do the Eurozone the favor to come one after the other. Since the full invasion of Russia in Ukraine, European economies decoupled from Russian energy imports, and they're still struggling in diversification, organizing different energy mix. And in times of this reconstruction, we are confronted with the situation that is happening in the Middle East. So on top of this, changes like a massive investment in different sectors to increase the strategic autonomy of the Eurozone, in investing in a military capacity that is money that cannot spend elsewhere, and the green transition, which is ongoing since 2019. All of these transformations put a lot of pressure on not only the administrations to come up with a plan, but also to find enough trust in private sectors that this transition is moving in the right direction and it's managed well. So there is too much too quickly, and it loads up with external pressures that create the situation we are currently in.
And how long can the ECB realistically hold rates steady before this energy-driven inflation spike forces it to make other moves?
Well, right now they want to give a signal that everything is under control. They are not overreacting, but at the same time, they carefully look at the different drivers. The labor market still seems okay, at least in Germany. Italy is a bit concerning because they received the largest amount of money from Next Generation EU fund that was meant to trigger growth in Italy. But what we see is basically zero, which continues to what happened since the euro was introduced 26 years ago in the Italian economy. France is still kind of doing okay compared with what the situation was before. But all economies face major transition problems, and some manage better than others.
Professor Ulrich Brueckner in Berlin. We'll have to leave it there for now. Thanks for joining us.